So if you in here and you like, I'm scared, whatever you do this for me. Do not sabotage yourself with fear. Fear is not real. That's something in your brain. Like, it does not exist. How do we get over it? You get over it by dreaming of what you can be.
Whatever challenges you are facing, let them come. Whatever obstacles that you face, let them come. How can you grow if everything is easy? How can you grow if everything is handed to you?
I want the data. I want the input. I want the information. I want the feedback to get to the next version of me, regardless of how it emotionally makes me feel. I'm like driven by that. Without that information, why am I living?
So if you in here and you like, I'm scared, whatever you do this for me. Do not sabotage yourself with fear. Fear is not real. That's something in your brain. Like, it does not exist. How do we get over it? You get over it by of what you can be. Come on, y'all gotta hear what I'm saying. There are those of you in this room, you spend a majority of your life doing what other people want you to do. You don't even know who you are. And so even what you're doing, you're not doing at 120% because you're doing what somebody else wants you to do, and you're not good enough to be somebody else. So I need y'all to do me a favor. I need you to be selfish on the dream piece, because what you have to understand is when you know who you are and you start operating that, you're gonna start blessing people in a way you couldn't bless people before when you didn't really know who you were. See, this is the teaching the millennials need. This is what the millennials need, guys.
Whatever challenges you are facing, let them come. Whatever obstacles that you face, let them come. How can you grow if everything is easy? How can you grow if everything is handed to you? How can you truly ultimately be a leader in your life if you're not willing to go over the top and get to where you need to be? This is the time right now, ladies and gentlemen. So if you gotta suffer, suffer the right way. If you gotta hurt, hurt a little bit. If you gotta cry, wipe those tears and keep moving. Pain is good. Pain makes you strong. Maybe sometimes you feel like you're in that dark place, but we all got to find a way to find the light within ourselves. Nothing can stop your purpose. Nothing can stop your greatness.
The millennials have rushed right into what they thought we wanted them to have, and that's cars and this stuff. Why? Because a generation before, for some of us, right, it was a working class, so they were in poverty, guys. And so they grew up watching their family work hard to get stuff. And so now we wondering why they just want stuff. Because that's all they seen in their homes. That's all they heard. They seen their parents go out and buy nicer houses and get better cars than grandma had, better stuff. So I need you to be selfish on the first tier, and that's dreaming. I need you to be real selfish. because you can't help anybody else. You can't do for anybody else if you want. You know what's so funny? We want people to make guarantees to us, but we're not willing to make guarantees to ourselves. Now, bro, I'm gonna say it again. Like somebody gave you a guarantee, $30, 30-day guarantee. In 30 days, if you don't make what they told you was gonna make, in 30 days you got an attitude, you want your money back. But you've never demanded your money back from yourselves. You've never looked at yourself in the mirror and said, you let you down. Until you get to that point, you let you down. You're not brave enough. You want to put it on somebody else. The reason why I'm not successful is because of my boss. Have you ever looked at yourself in the mirror and said, I'm not getting up on time. I'm not going to work on time. I'm not putting in 120% when I'm at work. I let me down.
If you give hell all the power, then hell will prevail over you. So remember, hell did not create you. Hell cannot break you unless you give it the power. Don't let hell tell you what to do. Don't let misery tell you what to do. Stand tall. Be strong. Feel your greatness. Live your greatness. Push forward. Understand that it's yours. Understand that you live. Understand that you're not dead. Understand it's time to fight. Understand that you have a purpose. Making it happen. Believing in yourself. So let hell do what it has to do. Let hell continue to do what it needs to do. But don't give hell all the power.
I want the data. I want the input. I want the information. I want the feedback to get to the next version of me, regardless of how it emotionally makes me feel. I'm like driven by that. Without that information, why am I living? Dude, right?
Really, at 30, you need to start buckling it on down. And just realize, man, everybody make mistakes. And if the mistakes you're going through are going to help you become the person you need to be later on.
Steve Harvey.
All them mistakes, dog, they cool to make.
Yeah.
I needed to mess up every marriage. I needed to get arrested like I did.
Yeah.
I needed to get shot. I needed all this, dog. I needed to be homeless. Yeah. I needed all them things to happen to turn me into who I am today. So when you're young and you make mistakes, don't let them eat you up. Because everybody that done made it,
Yeah.
You got to fail in order to win. Hey, look, man, to understand how to hit the game winning shot, you got to miss the game winning shot. First of all, you're talking about stuff that I can relate to like so many others can relate to. I mean, you know, everybody got the same story. We just got different details. But like I always say, life is 10% what happens to you. It's 90% what you do about it.
Not only are all achievers doing that, but all happy people do that. In other words, here's how we know you're perfect now. You've produced the external life you have, so you are perfect for that life right now. You are all you need to be right now. But if you want a different life, an improved life, a growing life, right, an increased life, this version of you is inferior to get to that place. And so the reason we have rapport, the reason we like each other, like I also want to be surrounded by people who are not messaging me, is enough enough? Everything's good, man. Take a break. I may not want more money. You and I both have a lot of money, right? We both probably like more. That's not my driver. I want more peace, more gratitude, more abundance, more contribution, more memories, more experiences, more joy, more love. That will never be enough for me. Put me in the ground if I don't get any more of that stuff, right? I want to grow. I want to see the next place. And so that's the journey. Those of you that have faith, if you believe there's this place you're going to someday, that's because you're always going someplace. So you might as well want to get the information and the equipment to get there. And that's where I want to go. Now, this is going to sound hokey, but I'm going to give you the big one. And this is why life gives you these great tests. I had a really good friend of mine. I went to lunch and he said, I don't know who this guy is here in front of me. And he goes, let me ask you a question, honestly. Right now, what are you grateful for? And at the lunch, I said, jack shit. Nothing, brother. There's nothing good in my life right now. And I'm not exaggerating this to you when I tell you this, and this is a factual story. As I'm mouthing these words, 2 people walked in with an older man. Both of them clearly were fighting cancer somehow. Both had lost their hair. One of the ladies had a bonnet on, and they were barely moving in. Both walked by our table and gave me the most warm greeting, the warmest smile as a stranger. And he goes, that's pretty freaking pathetic. You can't find anything in your life to be grateful for right now. And on the drive home, I'm not kidding you, I started to stack gratitude.
See, we're going to dive into a chapter from my new book, and it's chapter 1, section 1. This is very clear for people. So the first step is getting completely and brutally honest enough to say, I am tired of myself. When you say I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired, that's the facilitator of change. That's when you're ready to say these words, no more excuses. No more excuses. I went to Kent State, I dropped out. I didn't drop out, I flunked out. Now that threw my life into a spiral, but because I didn't have a college degree, I could not let that stop me. And like you're doing, where you're saying, all my friends at this age are settling in your careers, you don't even know if they're happy or not. Stop comparing yourself to others. So the first thing you do is stop focusing on other people. Instead, focus on being the best version of you that you can. Then you'll recognize that you deserve to sit at the big table with everybody else after you become the best that you can be.